kind of sure where this is going. Hello there. I am your host, Dr. Polly Heil-Mealey, and today this is our monthly essential oil class, and I have my oils here, and we're going to talk about essential oils and healing. Now, I'm going to come at it from a various different type of, I just got all the whiff of the oils as I opened the little box. I'm going to go through it with some different kind of things that you may or may not have seen before. So I have some charts and that kind of thing. Hey, Nisi, thanks for tuning in. I've got some charts and some different things that I want to show you. I hope it's going to give you some understanding on how to use essential oils and that kind of thing. So what is special about essential oils? Well, essential oils are volatile substances that you inhale, and the phenols and sequestropines and all these other kind of things that are in there go right up into the brain, into the limbic system. Now, the limbic system is your emotional system. And so what we want to do with that is we want to see what kind of essential oils will help you with emotions. Now, I'm going to start kind of simple, and then I'm going to get kind of deep. I'm not quite really sure how to do this because I don't want people to be confused, and it could be easy to be confused, so I don't want to do that. So I want to talk about some single notes. These are just one fragrance. Now, you can do your own blends, and I have several blends to show you that our own Dr. Deb has already made. And so if you decide that you want to look at some of these, you're not going to have to buy a plethora of oils and blend them. We've got them already blended for you. Now, just in full disclaimer, I have used these 7 blends that Dr. Deb makes. I have used them now for, I guess, almost 4 years. And I use them every day. I put them on every day, and it keeps me sane. So those of you that know me and you know how crazy my life can be, these essential oils keep me sane. So we're going to just talk about some single notes first. So I'm going to show you. Now, we have the Bare oils. These are the oils that we get here in the clinic, and we do these oils because we believe, according to the mass spectrometry, gas chromatography, I can never say those words, there's too many syllables in there, that Dr. Deb looks at those, and these oils have the right properties to do what they're supposed to do. And so bergamot is the first one that we want to talk about. Bergamot is part of the orange family, and so it tastes kind of orangey. So this is the fragrance. If you like Earl Grey tea, this is part of the fragrance that is in Earl Grey tea, okay? Bergamot oil is the oil that gives a tea its characteristic scent. It's been found to reduce the hormone that is linked to high stress states, which is known as cortisol. Okay, so we're going to talk about cortisone in a little bit because people that are stuck in sympathetic mode, and probably all the people that are watching today are going to be stuck in sympathetic mode, bergamot helps to reduce the corticosteroid, which is a hormone, cortisone. So we want to look at that. Research shows that bergamot essential oil can lower anxiety and stress while balancing the cortisol levels, and it even does that better than rest. So people that are in a sympathetic state, and I don't have time to go into all of that, but there are 2 primary states in your central nervous system or your automatic nervous system. One is the sympathetic state, which is like your accelerator, and one is the parasympathetic state, which is like the brake. And so because we live in such a stressful atmosphere, most of us are going full throttle with the accelerator down and do not apply the brakes because, oh my goodness, we might miss something, okay? So we want to talk about that. Clary Sage, and we do have that one. We do this one. This one gives you kind of a euphoric feeling, and it smells really pretty. And whenever I have a pregnant lady, whenever she goes in for delivery, we give her a Clary Sage roll-on because it takes away the labor pain and it makes her slightly euphoric, and so she can get through that just a whole lot better. But this is frequently used by aromatherapist to balance hormones in women. So this is a really good choice for people that are postmenopausal, perimenopausal. If you need to have your hormone balanced, Clary Sage will do that. There was a study in the psychotherapy research, and it found that exposure to natural Clary Sage increases the happiness hormone serotonin. Now, I'm going to just kind of delve into my little resources right here and show you guys some things. So I hope you're going to be able to understand this, which you may not. I don't know. Here we go. So I'm going to show you this. I know you can't see my face and me talk to you about this, but this is the picture of a brain, and these are all of your neurotransmitters right here. So for somebody to be, if their serotonin, like the serotonin is down here, the reference range is between 2 and 4. You want to be in 2 and 4. And so this one is actually at a 2. So that's what we need. So Clary Sage builds this neurotransmitter. And so this is in the brain. This is a picture of the brain, just so you can see. I'll show you over here. See how this brain is really pretty and blue? Well, that is an optimal brain function right there. A lot of times people come in and their brain is black like this, right? So they need more neurotransmitters. So the Clary Sage helps balance that. And yes, Ronaldo, that will work with men as well, okay? Now, it won't balance their female hormones, of course, but it will help with the serotonin. Now, serotonin is your happy neurotransmitter, and it also reduces the cortisol in the body. So research shows that Clary Sage also has an antidepressant effect on women. So now, does it have an antidepressant effect on men? I don't know, but definitely on women. This is what the research shows, and this was in the Psychotherapy Research Journal. So you want to have a Clary Sage that is at the optimum frequency, and we know that the bear oils are. The next one we want to talk about is frankincense. Of course, we all know frankincense because why? Because Jesus had frankincense, right? And it smells good. It's really very, very strong smell. You either love it or you hate it. I tend to love it. And it's an essential part of an anti-inflammatory. It reduces brain stress. So, of all of the essential oils that cross the blood-brain barrier, frankincense does. It's not the one that crosses it the best, but it is one that crosses it, and it does reduce inflammation. So who needs this? People that are stressed in their brain, people that are having issues, but also people with tau protein plaques, right? People that have dementia or senility and that kind of thing. Could be because of brain inflammation. And so the frankincense will help with that. It also has been linked with depression, brain inflammation. And so if you know anybody that is depressed, you might want to give them a little bit of frankincense. Or you might want to mix it with something else that smells just a little bit better. And we're going to talk about some of those in a little bit. Now, geranium. If you have ever gardened and you have geraniums grow really, really well here. And whenever I would be out in my garden and pruning geraniums or deadheading them or whatever, I would always get this whiff of this fragrance. It's not something that I would wear as a perfume. Okay, I'll just tell you, it's just not. I thought it smelled that way to keep the bugs away. But for women, right, this essential oil has been linked with imbalanced hormones, and they found that the geranium has a potential to raise your estrogen levels. So if you're postmenopausal, if you're perimenopausal, if your estrogen levels are not quite where they need to be, the research has shown that the geranium can help bring those into balance. So if you don't want to come in and get bioidentical hormones, if you don't want to come in get some creams or whatever we have here that helps you, then you can try this geranium essential oil and see what that does. Now, just so you know, I'm going to kind of transgress over here. I'm not transgressing because I'm not sinning, but there is this little bottle here. It's called the Sacral Navel Blend, and this has in it, oh, the print is too tiny, I can't read it, but this has all of your hormones in it, all of the essential oils that rebuild your hormones. So as a postmenopausal woman, I make a little smiley face on my belly, right where my ovaries are, and it keeps everything working the way it needs to. So this one is in a blend. It's already blended up. Dr. Deb does it. You know you can trust it. You know that everything is going to be at the right frequency. It's already in a carrier oil, so you can just put it right on your body. These come in the 10 milliliter size, which is this size, but they also come in the I think it's 1/10 of a dram, which is this size. And so when I first started, I just got a little baggie, and I have all 7 in there. Well, this is the 7th one. I keep this on my desk because this is the one that connects me to God, right? This is how it helps open up my spiritual side. So if you need to have that, we've got that for you as well. So these are some of the oils, because I am not all that good at blending. I do blending whenever I'm able to look and see your pupillary reflex and all that, then I'm able to do a good blend for you. But it comes to doing a good blend for me, well, it's a little bit different because I can't really see my pupillary reflex unless I'm staring at myself in the mirror, and that's just not quite conducive. And so I trust Dr. Deb, and so I use the already pre-blended one. And like I say, I've been doing this for many years, and you're going to see on a piece of paper what that does to all of my endocrine system. So that leads me to the endocrine system. What is the endocrine system? The endocrine system is all of the different organs that make your hormones, right? So starting at the head, you've got your pineal gland, your hypothalamus. In your throat, you've got your thyroid and your parathyroid. Right above your heart, you've got your thymus gland. Then you've got your pancreas, which is on the right side of your body, right under your rib cage. Then you have your adrenals that sit on top of your kidneys. Then you have your ovaries, right? So you have all of these glands, and if you're a man, you've got testicles, okay? So I didn't want to leave you out. So all of these glands produce hormones. So if you're not having the right hormone production, then you're not going to be a happy camper. So I'm going to show you this. And I told you I had several things to show you. So can you see this? This is a steroid hormone map. So what does that mean? So we're talking about your endocrine system. So your endocrine system is all of those glands that make hormones. Now this is particularly dealing with the hypothalamus, pituitary, and the adrenals, okay? So up here, we've got cholesterol. Down here at the bottom, we have estrogen and testosterone. So women are usually really worried about their hormones in the fact that they don't feel good. They, as Joyce Meyer says, she gets up and she only has one hormone left. It has no one to talk to, no one to get in balance with, and that kind of thing. Sometimes we wake up like that. So if you don't have your cholesterol breaking down into all of these other hormones, right? And way up here, the next one under cholesterol is pregnenolone. Now, pregnenolone is a hormone that is a hormone precursor. If you don't have pregnenolone, you're not going to get all these other hormones. This other hormone here, DHEA right here, is another hormone precursor. So if you don't have these main hormones up here, you're not going to get down here to your estrogens and your testosterone. So this is really important because if your endocrine system is not working right, then you're going to have issues. So I'm going to go back to my essential oils because we're talking about emotions, but your emotions are linked to your hormones. And your hormones are far more than just your sex hormones, your estrogen, your progesterone, and that kind of thing. So have I confused everybody? Yeah? Okay. Hopefully not. The next one we want to talk about is your lavender. We all love lavender. We all know what lavender smells like and what lavender does for us. So lavender is an essential oil that promotes a feeling of well-being, okay? It lifts depression, it eases anxiety, and there's plenty of research that confirms the mood-enhancing and emotional balancing effects of lavender, okay? So this is because of lavender's effects on the brain. According to research published in the Frontiers of Pharmacology, right? Lavender has the ability to bind to the serotonin receptors in the brain, thereby reducing anxiety and improving our feeling of well-being. So going back to our little chart over here, right? Let me just show you this again. Here is where we have our hormone, our neurotransmitters, right? You've got your norepinephrine, your epinephrine, your dopamine, your acetylcholine, your GABA, and your serotonin, right? So if these are not in the right place, then your glands are not, these tell your hormones, your glands, what hormones to produce. So if you've got lavender that binds to the serotonin receptor, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more of that neurotransmitter. So it's going to help just the whole body do what it needs to do. So that's kind of a cool thing. The other one I want to show you in the single note is orange. And of course, everybody loves orange, right? And so orange, there was a small but interesting study that was published in Psychology and Behavior, right? Now I love this research because I hate going to the dentist. So any of you that are old enough to have watched Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman years ago, right? There was this dentist and he was like crazy. Well, my dentist was kind of like that. Now, I loved him. I don't think he was just being mean to me, but he did all of my dental work without any anesthetic. And so, consequently, I hate going to the dentist. So, but orange essential oil, the orange essential oil, there is a study that the researchers divided the participants in a dental office group. There were some that got the essential oil orange. They either inhaled it or they rubbed it on their body prior to their dental treatment. And those who had the dental treatment without the essential oil, right? So the people were evaluated, and those that inhaled the oil prior to their treatment had lower levels of anxiety, increased calmness, and a better mood going to the dentist, right? I'd have to take a bath in it. I'm just saying. I just have to take a bath in it. So if you have dental issues, you don't really like going to the dentist, then you might want to try putting some orange essential oil in your diffuser and see what that does for you. So just thinking that. The last single note I want to talk to you about is Vetiver. Now, Vetiver is very kind of musky. I'm not sure where it comes from, what kind of plant it is, but it's very musky. And it's also, I don't know if you can see this, but it's very, very thick. See how big that drop is? And it just sits on my finger. It doesn't dissipate. You see that? That's one drop. That's a lot. Now, I love this oil, right? This oil helps me sleep. I put it in a carrier, and I put it on the bottom of my feet. And it's not bad. Oh, yeah, this is not smell-o-vision. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, I wish you had smell-o-vision because you would like the way this is. But this is what I like on this particular study, right? Research in the medical journal Natural Products Research explored the effects of vetiver essential oil compared to the drug diazepam. Now, what is diazepam? Diazepam is a anti-anxiety, it is an antidepressant, kind of for panic attacks and that kind of thing. So they compared the vetiver essential oil to the drug diazepam and its ability to reduce anxiety. Inhalation of vetiver essential oil had a comparable effect to the anti-anxiety drug. So, however, vetiver has not been linked to the lengthy list of side effects of diazepam, including lack of muscle coordination, stomach pain, headaches, confusion, blurry vision, or the feelings of sadness and discouragement. So Vetiver, and it's kind of sticky. I didn't put a carrier on because I was just going to let you smell it, as you saw a while ago. Anyway, it smells really, really good, and it has very, very calming effects. And this medical study shows that it was as effective in reducing anxiety as the drug diazepam. So that's kind of a cool thing, right? Very, very cool. So I want to show you and put the lid back on because I'll fall asleep because there's just so much of that wafting around. So just want to look at the brain. Showed you this a while ago. So the optimum brain is this brain over here, this blue brain. This blue brain shows that all of the neurotransmitters are working right, your minerals are working right, your hormones are working right, your autonomic nervous system is working right. But many, many people come in with this little black brain, okay? This little black brain, right, on the percentage, the real pretty blue brain is 83 to 100%. And what that says is central nervous system is maximum optimal functional condition. And that's what we want. We live in a really stressed out world. And so it wouldn't take much for a lot of us to go over the edge, especially if we're not in that happy place with our brain. Now we use a instrument here called the heart rate variability monitor, and this is a test that you can come in and take with us, and it shows all these different things. There's about 9 different pages like this. And so like I say, a lot of people come in very, very stressed, and this over here is 0 to 17%, and that is the central nervous system is in high stress, possibly depression. Okay, Jed and Jana, how often do you have to use it to maintain levels? I don't know. It's kind of like how you feel. If you feel stressed, just put some in your diffuser, put some on your roll-on, dilute it. You always want to dilute it with fractionated coconut oil, okay? Why fractionated coconut oil? Because fractionated coconut oil has all of the components taken out of it that could spoil. So when you use fractionated coconut oil over a long period of time, if you're making a blend like one of these kind of blends, this has already got your fractionated coconut oil in it, and it doesn't go rancid. Your olive oil will do that, your grapeseed, your almond seed, all of those oils will go rancid, so you don't want to use that. So I would think, or I use essential oils based on how I feel. On the body, where would you put Vetiver? I put it, I put it on my hands just now because I didn't want to show you my feet. But normally I have it in a spray bottle. I don't have one on my desk, but I have it in a spray bottle with some water, and I shake it up, and then I'm able to spray it. You could also put it in the fractionated coconut oil and spray it on your feet. So remember, you don't want to do much more than a 10% dilution. So that would be 1 drop of Vetiver to 10 drops of fractionated coconut oil. And then you kind of move on from there. I will tell you that putting that spray on the bottoms of my feet just really puts me in a nice sleep mode. So that's where I would do the Vetiver if I were going to do it. I want to show you something else. When your hormones are in balance, then your sleep is going to be in balance, right? So this is a sleep pattern, and if you look over here, you see 2 sleep patterns. Now this is a good sleep pattern here. You've got very little in the delta and theta. You've got more in your alpha, beta, and gamma. You can see here. This is a good pattern. This is not a good pattern. This one, I'm all over the place, right? So these neurotransmitters, brain waves, because I'm not all at 2 here. I don't know if I'll let y'all see that up close. Everything should be between 2 and 4, right? So because I'm a little out of balance, even though my brain is really good, my brain is nice, pretty blue, because my neurotransmitters are out of balance, my sleep is out of balance there. So there are so many oils out there. Yes. Can you talk about brands and who to avoid? Okay. So we don't really want to slam different companies. What we do want, we don't want you buying oils that are cheap, right? You get what you pay for. So essential oils are going to be very, very expensive. We recommend the Bare brand, and that's what this is. This is the Bare Oils brand. You can get it from our website. And the reason that this is the only oil that we recommend is because we see the labs on these oils. A lot of your oils, if you call the manufacturer, you want to see the labs on them, they won't let you see the labs. Now, in fairness, you wouldn't understand them unless you've got a master's degree in essential oil. Dr. Deb does. She does read these. She does reject oils that do not have the right chemical constituents. So think about back in high school when you were in chemistry lab, right? You would take an element, you would take your Bunsen burner, you would mix whatever, or you'd burn it, or you'd do whatever, and the color that came up would tell you what the element was. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that's what we did in high school chemistry. Now, if you went on and you went in to be a chemical engineer, then you had more of that kind of a situation. So, in the gas chromatometer, anyway, in that test, what they do is they do their work with these oils, and these oils should have a bazillion different, constitutional particles in there that are going to show up at different colors at different levels. And so you've got to really learn how to read these things. I have a professional journal that will say, this is what your lab work should look like. If you're making bergamot, this is what it should look like because this is the perfect ratios and components and that kind of thing. I don't have the knowledge to go and do that, so I have to have a partner that has that, and that would be Dr. Deborah Zeff. And so I go by what she goes, and she says that she recommends the Bare Oil brand. Now, there are other brands that are being investigated by the Attorney General and that kind of thing. So we don't want to go there because the oils are being investigated because they've been diluted, they've been adulterated, they're not what they say they are. So, and I know that because we've called the attorney, we found out that that was a viable lawsuit. It's not just something going around on social media. So, but I will tell you what you are buying in the big box stores, what you are buying online a lot of times. If it's very, very cheap, I was at a health food store one time, and there was a bottle of rose oil, and I think it was like, $15 or something. Well, this is a bottle of rose oil. It's Rose Absolute, and I think, yes, it is $105.95. This little bottle, it's a half an ounce. $105. So when you compare this to what the $15 in the health food store, it's been cut. It's been adulterated, right? So you have to be really, really careful. The doctor's name, Michelle, is Dr. Deborah Zeff, Z-E-P-F. Okay, you can look her up. She's on social media. She is awesome, and she's just starting her college of aromatherapy, so that's not up and running quite yet, but it should be up and running very soon, by September, I think for sure. She is this week down in the San Diego area doing an essential oil training down in quantum medical land down there. So I'm just about out of time. I don't know if you had any I wanted to show you something else. I wanted to show you this. This is important. This is a screen that we get with the heart rate variability. This is what your this is called your level of biocoherence. And what that means is how well is everything working in your body. When it looks like this, that's perfect. So you can see over here. I know you can't see me and see it too. So this is optimal, but we have a lot of people come in that's just this black smudge here, right? None of your parts are working together. And when everything is working together, then this is what you get. This is chronological age. This is biological age. Your biological age, you always want your biological age to be less than your chronological age, because that means you're not aging overly quickly. So I've got about 2 minutes. So I'm going to show you this really, really quick. Don't wig out, all my Christian buddies. Don't wig out on this picture. This is the endocrine system. These are all the different organs that produce your hormones. You want to be optimal 80 to 90%. So this person has been using Dr. Deb's oils for 4 years, right? And this person is pretty high on the chart. That means all of my glands are making the hormones that we need so that I can be in optimal health. So this is a test that we do here in the clinic. Like I said, it takes 5 minutes to do the test. It takes probably 35 minutes for me to talk to you about the test. And so if you want to do that, then you're more than welcome to come by. On the other hand, if you just want to get the essential oils to balance all of your endocrine system, there is an essential oil for each system, and so, or each gland. So you've got one for the hypothalamus, one for the pituitary, one for the thyroid, one for the thymus, one for the adrenals, and one for the ovaries or testicles, as the case may be. And so no, you don't put them on those body parts. You put them on those energy centers that we showed you in that diagram. So this is how essential oils can help you with your emotions. It doesn't just make you feel good. It works on your neurotransmitters. It works on your hormones. And we've got the technology that proves that. So I hope you've learned something today. I hope you've enjoyed being with me. I've seen your names kind of pop up, and I didn't stop long enough to say hello, but hello. Thanks for joining. And we'll see you next month. Take care. Love you. Bye.